Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time, thank you for joining me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, wanted to make sure all my sounds are off. We're going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for the collective whole. This is an energy update. With that, I had asked the collective energies what this reading was going to be about, and I was told the pulse of creation is approaching. So with that, that's a tremendous amount of energy that's coming our way. And, and there's needing to be some almost like preparatory work. See, this is what happens when you try and copy someone else and cut baby hairs. See, that's, it's okay. It's okay. So I've learned my lesson. Totally learned my lesson. I won't be doing that again. So here we go. Okay. When an energy as intense as a pulse, the pulse of creation at that, approaches, you have to have some level of awareness. And this is because if you don't, it does have a tendency to knock most people on their butt. Okay, there is a high tendency to knock people on their butt. It makes things very confusing. It amplifies any disharmonic energies, any peaceful feelings, all of that. Like whatever you're feeling, it's going to be greatly amplified. So let's see how this is going to play out. Almost done. All right. I was trying to ignore this card. Okay. Ooh, 2 cards. Okay, guys, let's get started. Let us see what's going on here. So an action is happening. We're needing to acknowledge a specific action that's taking place. This is a dance that's occurring between so many different groups. So many different components are being included in this intricate choreography. I say it's a choreography because these are things that have been planned well in advance of this life, well in advance of a lot of things. So this dance definitely happens in the darkness. It's stuff that we may or may not notice is going on until it's completely initiated already. Okay. Oftentimes what ends up happening is we are in denial of what's actually happening until we can no longer deny it. A lot of things that are needing to happen for our growth, our elevated growth, is going to be very difficult for us to like willingly acknowledge and process. So card number 9, Uranus, Genius. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So there's something reaching down towards us. Okay, this might be our higher selves. This might be divinity itself. Something is reaching down to assist, to kind of guide us through this dance in the dark that's happening. Is there anything to be afraid of? I think fear serves a purpose. I feel like fear really is allowed to exist to bring your attention to the things you need to be paying attention to. Because again, we do have a habit of ignoring and avoiding. So the public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. For those of us that are aware of what's going on and you're trying to share information, you're trying to help others realize things that you've probably already come to the realization of, they're probably going to fight that. Okay. Cognitive dissonance is a very intense, very potent thing when it goes beyond what someone can handle, when what you share goes beyond what someone can handle. It's too much truth. There's a high likelihood that the person will indeed tell you no, not agree with you, all of that. So the sudden bolt of a surprise that causes chaos. Uranus, the great awakener, is here to wake you up. We're being awoken. As a people, as a planet, we are being awoken. We're being encouraged to see the truth rising. Now, Uranus has a tendency to be very detached and unemotional. Okay. The period that we're in right now is a very emotional one, highly charged with very intense emotions, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. And we have to really be considerate about how much other people can process. Just because you can process it doesn't mean it's easy for someone else. And if that's the case, you need to quiet yourself down a little bit. You need to allow people the space and the time to digest whatever it is they're coming to terms with. Uranus is also linked to technological advances and how the future is going to look and be. When this card comes up, there's jolts and surprises in regards to what we're dealing with, okay? Hold on. It won't give me a, there we go. This has to do with the Tower card. The key ideas are change, revolution, shocks, genius, technology, alternative lifestyles. The changes will be rapid, shocks, jolts, sudden transformations, the unexpected. I'll let you guys read this for yourself. I'm no longer saying these types of things on my video, but I will let you read it for yourself. So that's what Uranus is tied to, okay? This is a part of our energy update, the things that we are preparing ourselves to potentially experience, all right? So a shift is occurring, a total shift. And what's going on is that we're needing to, at the very least, sway our hips to the side just a little bit during that dance. So some of this energy can get through. All right. This energy is going to get through. We are being assisted on a higher level. This is either your higher self or divinity itself. Okay. Something is reaching down from up above. I'm talking in regards to dimensional level of consciousness. Something is reaching down, trying to reconnect with us and assist us in our expansion of our own consciousness in this life. So this is a really beautiful time. It is a really beautiful time. It's something that we need to be fully present in. Mentally, emotionally avoiding trying not to process, you can choose to do that. That's perfectly fine. But when you exist in a state of denial, this process is going to be very, very traumatic for you. It is. There's nothing that I can say or do to lessen the blow of that. It's just going to be filled with a really traumatic feeling. Now, does that mean horrible things are going to happen to you? Not necessarily. But I found, 92% at 929, 92929. Interesting. That's very interesting. Oh, the next card is 29 as well. The Uranus card is 9. Okay. And the card after that, 2 plus 7 is 9. Very interesting. So here we go. The Lilith card, independence. I have my own personal history with that Lilith energy. And it tends to be one of manipulation, confusion, intentional confusion, just some really questionable practices. But we're trying to become independent of that. Okay. This is really a tumultuous period. The way we become independent of the paradigm we exist within, it is unfolding right now. We're being shown the path right now, how this is going to go. And it's not necessarily going to go in a bad way. Not necessarily. Okay. Nothing's ever really guaranteed. So, card number 22, wisdom. Ooh. You have to use all of the life experiences that you've had and stack them up and allow them to elevate you. Okay? Allow them to elevate you. Allow them to elevate you. Your wisdom is knowledge put into action. Okay? It's definitely put into action. You have to allow yourself to be able to tap into your life experiences thus far and see how it can be applied to your life and your circumstance. All right. Lilith can be a misunderstood energy. That's why I say my personal interactions with her have a lot to do with manipulation and confusion. She's allowed to come to me in that way because that's what grows me to the highest potentiality. Now, other people might experience her energy in a more positive way. So really, it's very unique experience for each individual. It really is. Card number 49, Jupiter returns, benefits. Card number 49. All right. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This marks the time that the largest and most expansive of planets returns to original place of when you were born. So right now, the largest part of our lesson together as a species is coming back to its point of origination. This indicates a period when doors are open to you and obstacles are lifted. You're given the freedom to advance your goals with absolute abandon. It suggests you will soon be entering a time when you encounter less resistance and life should flow much easier. This is the green light that gives you the go-ahead. All paths are now clearing and you are to take the utmost advantage of this. So it's definitely full flow towards your self-healing, self-realization, self-actualization. But this is something you have to choose for yourself, okay? This card implies good fortune and prosperity in many areas, not just financial or material. Dreams manifest into reality at this time. Gifts flow in easily. It's also a time to be aware of how you approach matters of your own spirituality, faith, and destiny. So this is about you really understanding. You are cultivating your own environment. You are cultivating your experiences. It's through the decisions you make that you really begin to solidify the filters you'll be using when you experience whatever it is we're going to be experiencing together. All right. This card has to do with the Chariot. It's about earned luck, fortune, rewards, profits, an auspicious year. It's also about positivity, openness, seizing the moment, rising to the call, preparation for great opportunities. Oh, it's about release, freedom, happiness, rescue from suffering, the ace up your sleeve, alignment with the soul's calling. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is a very good sign. Very, very good sign. It's important for us to also take everything in perspective, okay? There's a lot of fear being peddled around, news outlets, all kind of stuff. Pretty much social media is inundated by same kind of posts, okay? Spreading the same kind of message. Do you completely ignore them? Do you try and pass it off as these are people who are mentally unstable or something along those lines? No. Listen to it and allow yourself to decide, is this something that I need to be afraid of? Or is this information coming to me to help me prepare myself for my own personal experiences? You know, you have to keep everything in perspective. You definitely do. And it's okay if you feel afraid. It's not about never feeling fear. It's about recognizing the fear is bringing your attention to things that you need to be aware of. Card number 27, Lakshmi, fortune. Fortune is coming. Fortune is more than just money. Some of us are going to experience such a richness in our process of expansion, a richness in thought, a richness in feeling, a richness in the connections that we begin to forge with other people. This is, and I keep having to say it, this is a beautiful, beautiful time for us to really forge deeper bonds with our family, with our friends, with a person that we're in a relationship with, even with our neighbors. It's a good time to begin conversing. And I know they're saying social distancing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with speaking to a neighbor. You know, you're not rubbing your hands all over each other's faces. You know, just like, hey, how was your day today? Anything new going on in our neighborhood? You know, just little conversations. It's important for us to feel as though we're still part of something. Ooh, that's good. I like these. I like these. Ooh, yes. 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 Very much yes. Two cards from two different decks. Speaking of balance, card number 19. It speaks of balance. We need to balance ourselves once again, okay? You see this big dragonfly up here. That's about transformation. Although our vision is obscured, we have all our phases. We're going to go through all these different phases. But what's important is what's in your hand is the fullness of you, okay? The fullness of your creation. You are not alone in this. Your parts are reunifying. The people who need to be with you as you travel your journey, the people who are to grow with you, that reunification does take place. All right. It does take place. This is a soul connection. I don't want to attach any kind of labels to what this soul connection is. It's just a very deep connection that you have with another individual. It could be someone you're already with, and a deepening of that connection occurs. It could be someone who went away. It could be someone brand new. But this is a very deep soul connection. So that balance is there. When you exist centered in your truth, centered in the life that you've co-created for yourself, you naturally will have balance, okay? This is a part of your destiny. Yod, destiny. This is the point where all of us, every single last one of us, begin to recognize what our path really is. Now, this recognition might not be one where you begin talking about it, you begin using spiritual terms or any of that. It's just a realization of, you know, what I was doing before wasn't really fulfilling me. And I think I need to begin exploring what makes me really happy. I think I need to begin exploring other aspects of myself. What kind of life do I really want to live? What do I really want to create for myself? Do I want to, am I called to do something that helps other people? Because a lot of us, what we really want to do is help other people, but because we have to work that 9 to 5, um, we often are just like, well, I can't. One day it would be beautiful if one day. I think that one day is here. Many of us have been um, told to stay home from work. Many, many, many people. And you can see it as a very unfair, difficult thing, which you have every right to feel that way. You absolutely have every right to feel that way. Or you can feel that way and choose to see it as, you know what? I wasn't even happy there. I wasn't happy there. I want to just begin exploring making things with my hands or really looking at different programs so I can get certified in something that makes me happy. Maybe I like to give people advice and maybe, hey, there's this life coaching program, or hey, there's this social worker program, therapist program that I can do online, or whatever it is. But just really allow yourself to entertain a lot of your thoughts as they pass through over the next couple weeks. This is a time that we are being gifted with to quiet our busyness and really just sit and think. Sit and allow ourselves to get reconnected with our truth, our intention, our purpose. Um, so, ooh, 717, forgiveness and salvation. How does forgiveness and salvation tie in? How does forgiveness and salvation tie in? 717, 717. So for me, and you might not resonate with this. Forgiveness is a construct that really kind of just makes you stay in the same place. Oh, was there a thank you, Ilimari. I did not see. Thank you for the super chat. Um, so forgiveness for me really has a lot to do with this construct of victimhood and being, the victimizer and the victim. In order to participate in this forgiveness program, you have to first identify one as the aggressor, the transgressor, and the other as the victim. Okay, so clearly the victim would be the one needing the apology. In order to heal, you need the apology. The general gist of what this program is. What if they never apologize? What if the transgressor doesn't believe they did anything wrong? So you never heal because you're waiting for that apology. And then at some point, you're taught, well, you need to just forgive them for what they did. Don't wait for the okay. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense. What makes more sense is, instead of forgiveness, just this recognition that everyone that's in your life is there being used as a means for you to learn specific things about yourself through experience, hands-on experience. And if that's the case, if they're nothing more than a tool used by your soul to teach you the things you need to learn, did they really have that power to do something over you? No. No. It was something that your higher self allowed. It was allowed to help you to learn. So now it becomes a thing of it's a sort of like an even exchange. Whatever they took away from that, I don't know. But you took away something very, very important, a level of growth and consciousness expansion that you have no idea how that's going to benefit you later on in life. Thank you, Wicked Love Media. You really have no idea how that's going to benefit you later on in life. I've had so many different interactions with so many different people who have intentionally attempted to hurt me, harm me, emotionally, mentally, physically, all those things. And really, I look back at my life and it's like, do they need forgiveness? No. But they hurt you. Yeah, but they also made me strong, ridiculously strong. They made me fearless. They made me the kind of person that if you want to try that with me now, I'm very formidable. You're going to have a hard time. But if you want to try it, well, thank you for volunteering to help me refine what I already do. So, does anyone in my life need forgiveness? No. No. Does that mean the ugly things that they've done to me are okay? No, it's not okay. It wasn't okay. It's still not okay. Am I still there hurting? Am I still there wondering why I deserve to be treated that badly? No, because I recognize you were never more powerful than me. You were given permission on some level at some point to have this type of interaction with me so that I can grow even more. And when that's the case, you're not something that is beyond me. You didn't overtake me in some way. No, you didn't. I allowed it. And you can think whatever you want to think. But the fact is, you don't have the authority or the power to continue to harm me, to continue to affect me in a negative way. I've already learned whatever I needed to learn from the interactions that we had. And I'm not going back there. I'm not bringing that moment and carrying it with me through my entire life. You served your purpose, carry on with your life. And that's just how I see it. So forgiveness, this is something we really have to reassess. If you still believe in the forgiveness program, perfectly fine. You don't need to agree with me. You don't need to share this mindset with me. But just take into consideration, do you really need to forgive? Do you really need them to apologize? Do you need them to acknowledge? Do you need that closure? Because that desire for closure is what's going to connect you and tie you, bind you to that pain for prolonged periods. I've come to terms with the people who have done wrong to me, especially the ones who have done the most wrong. They probably will never apologize, and it's okay because I'm not waiting for an apology. Nope. If one day they decide to try and reconnect with me and talk about it, I'm open to that. Not because they might possibly apologize, but because I understand if you're coming back and I allow you in, that's because there's another aspect of learning needing to happen for me personally. And so yes, I'll be open to that until I recognize, okay, no, this is a repeat of the cycle, you're out. Nope, not doing that with you again. So salvation, you are your own salvation. Your compassion for yourself is your salvation. There's not someone outside of you that's going to come and save you. It's you. It's always been you. It's been you that decided to go against your intuition, that those intuitive hits that were telling you, no, this person is not a good mix with yours, with your energy. This is going to end up ugly. And you ignored it because as empaths, what do? We say, oh, don't be that way. Give them a chance. Don't be like that towards other people. Well, then, if you said that to yourself, you had to learn firsthand, which I had to learn firsthand so many times. And now my logic is, I really like you, but something just feels off and I don't know what it is. So I'm going to have to listen to that and not interact with you. Does that mean I think you're a bad person? No, I really don't know what this is about, but I'm going to listen to my intuition now. I don't need to continue repeating ugly things with people just because I want to have more compassion for you than I do for myself. That's not where my journey is anymore. You probably should have found me like 4 or 5 years ago. Then it would have been on like Donkey Kong. You would have been given the opportunity to do whatever it is you're planning to do to benefit from me. But now, no more of that. Mm-mm. And it's not that I'm not willing to help other people, because I absolutely still am. It's more of, unless I understand why my soul is telling me no to you, then I'm just going to be no to you. Okay? Like, it has nothing to do with your worth, how I see you. I need to listen to my higher self. I don't need to waste my time repeating lessons that I've already experienced so much of in my life. So the pulse of creation is coming. What's it bringing with it? A lot of symptoms. A lot of symptoms. Okay? Many of you might begin to, oh, I have to be careful how this is presented. I have to be careful. None of these symptoms will include fever. So if at any point you experience any kind of fever, even low-grade fever, then it's not a spiritual or energetic thing. You have to make sure you discern between spiritual, energetic, and physiological, okay? One second. Okay, not enough of us have the ability to discern yet. So I'm not going to go over the symptoms. I don't want to affect anyone's process of if they need any kind of medical attention or whatever because of the climate that we're in. I don't want to affect that. So I'm not going to go over the symptoms. You can very easily look online for symptoms of ascension and go from there. But I just feel like it would be very irresponsible of me to speak of symptoms and have someone dismiss an actual medical condition as spiritual just because they watch this live stream. So I hope you guys understand. I have to be responsible. So here we go. Time is set. Okay. Interesting. All right. I think this has to do with a soul connection. I think this definitely has to do with a soul connection. Seeking karmic balance. There was imbalance that was created some time ago. There was definitely a huge imbalance. Okay. Things were recorded within the Akashic records, and some of the most important aspects of your connection with someone else was trampled. They became fixated with specific details that tie to some very unbalanced human expectation of what your connection is meant to be. And so what ended up happening, one of you opted for self-sacrifice. A separation occurred because the connection was just too painful. So it was like a sense of well, if this is just going to hurt, then I might as well just walk away and hurt and just leave that completely alone, instead of allowing things to blossom in the way that it was meant to. Things were just severed. Pieces of both of you were fractured, deeply fractured by that decision. One or both decided this. What could have happened was one began to come to that conclusion and the other picked up on it, and it triggered the other person. And so they kind of beat them to the punch. I don't know if that makes sense. So person A was thinking like, I should walk away, but they weren't really ready to walk away. It was like this fear of where they saw this was going. And then person B felt that thought and was like, I'm out. I'm out. And then everything kind of went caca. Shamanic journey, cetacean. You're needing to go really, really deep into the trenches of your heart's ocean, because that's where this information is stored. This is about embracing family. The two of you are soul family. You know, you and this other person are soul family, and a reconnection is needing to happen. So returning the favor. It's this sense that for the one, how would I phrase this? Returning the favor, but it's flipped. So when one felt the need to possibly walk away and the other one made that happen for both, this is the opposite of that. One is entertaining this thought of like, should I reconnect? Should I reconnect? And now the other needs to return the favor and actually allow for that reconnection to happen. Okay. No, it's not a sense of obligation. This is a sense of balancing. See, like, ooh, balance destiny, balance salvation. When you balance the destiny between two individuals, balance, okay, that leads to both of your salvation from your own suffering, okay? Your forgiveness needs to carry with it the perspective of the return of something from the past. That return leads to your wisdom, which then that wisdom leads to action, which sets free the genius that will create the shift that leads to fortune and independence. See how this plays out? Now that I've mixed all the fucking cards. So okay, I'll just quit dancing around. It has to do with twins. Masculine and feminine, balanced relationships, 88. It's a homing beacon for open contact to reestablish true compassion. So all of this, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. That's the message. That's the message. This and it can for some it can be simply energetic, where the energies have been so separated energetically that a lot of unnecessary struggle happened. Now, if you allow the energy to recombine, for some of us, it's going to be a full merger. For others, it's not. It's really contingent on the individual. But there's this aspect at play that really continues to create disharmony. Whenever that reunification is imminent, this energy comes back into it. And this is what I know this energy to do, to create resistance, to create confusion. And if you think about it, it's actually a very beautiful gift that this Lilith energy provides, because of the fact that it causes you to consciously choose the reconnection. I mean, if there's this level of interference, unless you consciously choose for the reconnection to occur, it's not going to occur. So it's not necessarily all bad, but it's definitely one that creates way more struggle than what you would have if it wasn't present. Let me just ask a question. All right. So, is this really about that deep soul connection, that twin connection? Yes. Are all of us going to be reconnecting in real life, like calling and, I don't know, going out for coffee? No! No, not all of us will. Oh, yes. Okay, so what other questions should I ask? Um, do we need to participate in that forgiveness program? Do we need to continue to have that exchange of like, I forgive you and you need to apologize? No. Do we need to just see people as um, tools that our soul uses to help to cultivate our growth? Yes. I love it. I love it. So we are growing as individuals. We are definitely needing to take accountability for the lessons that our soul had planned for us. We need to stop with it's because someone outside of me that I'm struggling. Well, is it because of someone outside of you, or is it the result of decisions you've made recently and not so recently? And this is the perfect time for us to begin contemplating the answers to all of these questions. All our answers are going to be different. Okay. We all have different connections with individuals. We have different purposes. We have different lessons that we came into this life to learn. So everything is going to be different for everyone. But what's important is you begin asking the questions for yourself. All right. So, you guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I'm going to be going live again in a few minutes for other readings. So I'll see you guys. Bye.